Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, and today we are going to discuss about the special methods, why we use methods in our classes, what are the objects that are used to call methods, and why there's a need to use methods. So basically, special methods, how we use these methods in our class. Special methods are those methods that basically begin with and end with two underscores are called special methods. Those methods that start with double underscore, sorry, underscore, and end with the underscore, those are the special methods. And why we use them, they are generally called by a Python interpreter rather than called by the any programmers. For example, why we use these methods, like for example, we use plus operator. It means that we are actually invoking the add method. For example, it means that when we use plus operator, it means that we are generally invoking the add method. So this means that what happened? Add method. So it means that we invoke the add method. In order to invoke the add method, we use the plus operator. So that's how we use the method. And for example, rather than using the object len, rather than sorry, rather than using len dot object, rather than object dot len, sorry, object, rather than using this, we can simply use the method object that is used to call this method, length my object. So that's how we use objects and methods in our classes. So basically those methods that begin and end with underscore, they are the special methods. So here is an example of a simple special method. We will first create a class which name my class def init self comma value. I'll explain you this. Okay, self to value is equals to value. I'll print this. See, now first we created the class with naming and with name the my class, and now we are going to create a special method. We use methods. It's easy for us to use methods in some other objects. In some other classes. So we simply use methods, and then we create objects to call those methods by simply the object name, or by simply writing the class name. That's how we used to use objects to call the classes or methods. So here we create an object is equals to my class and giving them a value 30, and I'll print the object dot value. It will print out 30. See, here we give the value as an argument, and we didn't define or initialize the value. But here what we are doing, we are creating some object, and this object will use to call the value in this method. In what method? In this special method. In this special method, now this object will go here and check. This object will go in my class and then check where is the value, and it will call the value and give it a value 30. That's how we use the special methods. Another method. There are another methods which are repr. I guess this is the method name. And another method, string method. Okay, What does these methods do? These methods basically creates a string representation of our object that is useful for inspection purpose. For example, we create an object string representation which will later be used for some other purposes like inspection purpose or any other purpose. So here is an example of we'll copy this. No, sorry. I'll create a class point and I'll give them a arguments x and y. Okay, now I'll create a method in it and I'll give the same variables to, sorry, I will not give these arguments to class, rather I'll give these arguments to this method in it. Now what will I do? I will just define the variables x and y, and I do not initialize them because I'll give their values to by creating some objects. So what will I do? Self.x is equals to x, y is equals to y. Now I'll create in another method which is str method, and I'll give it argument self. Now what will I do? I'll return their values f. It will call the class point and self.x comma self.y. Okay, now I'll create another method for represent for string representation, which is repr, and I'll give the same argument here, and it will also return the same value which I return. They both are used for same purpose for string representation. Now I'll check if there is an error or not. There's no error. Now I will create an object with name point which is used to call this class point, and it will set these arguments x and y to some value. It will set some value to this argument x and y. So this point will call the class point and set x and y to, for example, 5 and 6. See, and this for okay. Now it set the values of x and y to 5 and 6, and it will call the method str and repr and return the values of x and y. So what will this point sorry, print str wait, am I doing something wrong? And print repr. Now see, what did this object do? It called the class point this class, and it will check where are these arguments x and y, and it will set the values of x and y to 5 and 6. Now what will this now we will how will we print, because this point is used to call this class and all of these methods are made inside the class. So what will we do? We will use this point object to call these methods, the method 1 str method and method 2 represent method. So basically these two methods are used to create a string representation of our object that is useful for some purposes like inspection and some for other purposes. So basically this is a simple lecture about special methods. Thank you.